The signs adorning the grandstand read, "Everything has led to this." Hard to argue with that sentiment. For 6 centuries, the sport has been played here at this, the very birthplace of golf itself. And since 1860, this competition has been held to decide who is the champion golfer of the year. Past is but prologue. It all indeed has led to this. Welcome to St Andrews and the final round of the Open Championship.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the home of golf, the old course at St Andrews, it's the final round of the 150th Open. Well, we have already seen 3 scintillating, sometimes spectacular rounds of golf. By the time twilight comes calling later today, we will have a champion as we check the Sunday leaderboard. Our leader is indeed our featured golfer. It has been a textbook performance to this point. This started toward the left side. And that a beauty, safely in the fairway to get this Sunday round started. A pretty ideal wedge distance here, 95 yards for his second.
In golf, you know, you've heard the term mulligan. You'd love that to do over there, wouldn't you? I mean, that's very poor from that range.
Nota Begay is on the ground for us at the first green.
And this is pretty flat all the way. I don't think there's much in it at all.
Oh, how good a read is that? It is a birdie at the opening hole. And he's going to move to 30 under par. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot, just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
This up the right side off the tee.
Well, that breeze is coming pretty hard from the right. Did a great job of controlling the shot against it.
So can he capitalize on the break here? His second from the short grass.
And that's a good approach shot too. Just a little left of the hole, but a good chance for birdie.
Yes, can't ask for a better start to a round than this. It is back-to-back birdies at 1 and 2. And that score continues to impress. He is now at 31 under par. Up next here at St. Andrews, the 370-yard par 4 third. Best to drive it left center to avoid a cluster of bunkers down the right side of the fairway. The real challenge comes on the approach, with Cartgate Bunker coming into play. Driving's been sensational all week, and here's another one that's going to set up nicely in the fairway. This is why you practice these shots from under 100 yards. You've bombed your drive. Now it's time for the touch shot. Zip one in there close.
That's a head scratcher, that approach shot from relatively close in. I would have been looking at 10 to 15 feet.
This one, not for the faint of heart. Down a big slope, though it is for birdie. Yeah, had to be careful with that one. Couldn't be too frisky, and that's not too bad. So that safely in. It's a par here at the third. And he'll remain well in control of this tournament. You might be asking, why have so many of golf's greatest course architects drawn from the old course? Well, here's a good example. It's about the options, a couple of ways to get after a hole. You can take a risk and you would be rewarded by going toward that narrow valley on the right. But there's always a price to pay. Safer play is to go for the plateau on the left. Again, all about options at the old course. driving's been sensational all week, and here's another one that's going to set up nicely in the fairway. Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stephen.
It's right around 117 yards to the front of the green, 124 to get to the flag, and the pin on the front portion.
Well, no surprise. We've already seen some great iron shots this week, but that is another one.
Not much to that. It is a birdie here at 4. That's going to move him to, you ready for this, 32 under. Well, here's a real scoring opportunity. The first par 5 on the front side at St. Andrews, the 5th hole. It's only 514 yards. That greenhouse, this is a football field deep. The key here, yet again, avoiding the big bunkers. They're called the Seven Sisters bunkers off the tee. If you do that, you'll have a great chance to get home in 2. And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. Now from a little less than 200 yards, this a second to the par 5. Got every bit of that, threw it all the way there and got it to stop. Home in 2 on the par 5. Now this for an eagle. Oh yeah. That's how you take advantage of a par 5. It's in for an eagle 3. Superb. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers. They're called the coffins down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot.
Driving's been sensational all week, and here's another one that's going to set up nicely in the fairway. good chance to get one in close from here. This is second. Okay, not particularly close, but a chance for the putter to do its thing. Now this for another birdie.
Dead straight look here. Just has to trust his stroke and get the ball to the hole.
You betcha, what a roll there. That is in for a birdie. And he's going to move to minus 35 for the tournament. Now, seventh hole here at the old course, Frank.
Ideal line, just hit your tee shot over the marked stone. The bunker on the 11th green actually often comes into play, called the shell bunker. So anything a little bit right of that, but very difficult green for the approach shot coming up. Well, that was 50-50 off the tee. Rough, fairway. I guess it was more than 50-50. Fairway's fine.
So after the fortunate kick, his second to the par 4.
That ball was always heading a little bit right, but inside 10 feet, there's nothing wrong with that on this hole.
He's been automatic on this front side. This for birdie. Ah, yes, runs that one right in. It's a birdie here at the 7th. And he is just unstoppable right now. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's scored short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green. Often you see long, long birdie putts here.
Okay, that one's dancing. Chance now for another birdie.
And this putt's going to want to go left all day long. It's back up the slope as well.
Whoa, dude, that. What a roll that was. A long one in for birdie. And he just continues to impress, moving to 37 under par. Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided, the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
Well, this looks really good. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. The speed was right what you want, but the eagle putt doesn't go down. Not much more than a tap in there. It is a birdie at the 9th, and that is going to mean this was a 27 on the front side, an amazing 9 under par. As we begin the backside here at St. Andrews, you can really feel the history. This hole named in honor of the legendary Bobby Jones, who won the 1927 Open and the 1930 Amateur. Obviously, 1930 was his Grand Slam year. Retired, by the way, at the age of 28. And then founded and built with Alister MacKenzie Augusta National. So a little bit of history lesson as you play this 340-yard par 4 10th. So here we go after a tremendous drive. This, a long one now for an eagle. Oh, that's a good stroke. Doesn't quite get the reward of the eagle, but a birdie would be a nice consolation, right? Now this for another birdie. Well done there. It's a birdie to kick off the back 9. And this is no longer a contest, folks. This one is all over but the shouting. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
For the two bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the Hill bunker to the left, what makes those two bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces in them.
Okay, that one passed the hole just a bit, but a birdie try upcoming. Gonna have to take pretty much a full swing at this one with the putter because this one is into the hill and the hole is cut back. Yeah, that's a nice putt. Getting it there up the hill was half the battle. This got there just a little wide of the mark. Okay, well done. It is a par here at 11, and pars are fine at this point with this tournament well in hand. Frank, from this vantage point here at the 12th, you can see why the old course, St. Andrews, are so iconic in the sport.
Yeah, this is a fun hole as we start to sort of head back to the village of St. Andrews. Hole's called Heathery. There's a big crop of heather on the left, and there's 4 little pot bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway, so you've really got to be cognizant of those. But good time to take the head cover off if you're a long hitter, and then you've only got to worry about that one pot bunker just short of the green.
Well, look out. That is way right.
Well, that drive was enormous. I know it's in the rough, but that is long.
It is in the rough, but it appears to be a pretty good lie. Should have a go at this. His second now at the 12th.
Another excellent shot from around the green.
Nothing to it. It's a birdie here at 12. And this one was over a while ago. This is just a walk in the park now. Here's the par 4 13th hole of the old course. Frank, what's the best play? Power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. You can take those coffins out of play. That's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle. Then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of the screen.
This one moving just a little bit to the right with that wind.
Too strong for this hole, eh? Ran out of fairway and into the rough. Big hit, though.
Iona, a second coming up.
Well, we've run out of fairway here. An impressive tee shot. Now finding ourselves on a bit of an upslope. That's going to need to be taken into account for this approach.
Good approach shot. And birdie putt coming up. But, approach shot just a little right, little short.
Chance now for another birdie. Nicely done. 2 straight birdies here early on this backside. And this is turning into an absolute runaway at the top of the leaderboard. We come now to the longest hole in the golf course, though it is a relatively short par 5 at 530 yards. This the 14th. Out of bounds wall on the right. Most players are aiming left to the landing area known as Elysian Fields. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony and a great result in the fairway. Had half the equation on that shot, the distance. Not quite the accuracy. Missed it a hair to the right.
Yeah, not quite a foul ball. Kept it in the ballpark, and, well, let's see how good you can chip.
Now this for another birdie. That's how you play this 14th hole. That's in for birdie. And to no one's surprise, he's going to move even further under par. We arrive here at the 414-yard par 415. Drive here should be aimed at that church steeple in the distance. Position between two prominent humps down the road just a bit.
Yeah, that was an excellent job of gauging that left to right wind. Managed to find the center of the fairway. And that ball looked good in the air. You'd like it to be a little closer, but still, inside 40 feet, just going to have to be careful with the lag putting.
He ran in a long one a moment ago. This equally long for another birdie. Nope. Good effort, but that's going to wander a few feet by.
Yeah, that's surprising. You wouldn't think he'd leave that short.
Okay, a solid par here at the 15th. And that's going to keep this large lead right where it is. Frank, the 16th hole, famous for the principal's nose, and I can't help but think of Mrs. Hartman from 4th grade.
Well, I don't know
She
how
didn't like us.
I don't know how Mrs. Hartman would have played this hole, but she would have been wary of the out of bounds on the right. And that's why the general consensus is you not only avoid the principal's nose, but you hit the tee shot a little bit further left. It might lengthen the hole, but it is certainly the more prudent strategy. Really starting to make a hard game look easy. Drive after drive has been superb. And this one, well, as we like to say, is in the mayor's office.
So a big drive, and not much needed to carry here for his second. Nothing wrong with that. Inside of 5 feet. Nicely done. Chance now for another birdie. No, that's going to miss right. And a good opportunity goes by the wayside. Okay, that'll be a par here at 16. And he's going to maintain that substantial lead. Here it is, folks. You've heard about it. The road hole at St. Andrews. Iconic 455-yard par 417. Tee shot must carry the railway sheds, and the approach has to avoid a deep pot bunker. Not to mention the road on the right. Devilish. Ooh, some big drives today. That might be the biggest of the bunch.
Well, that tee shot took some working out. The breeze was coming off the left, made the adjustment, and it is absolutely fine now.
A left to right breeze, something to consider here as he eyes this second shot.
That's a decent-sized green. It's not bad, just a little past the hole.
This is an 11-foot putt. Yes, the speed. Spot on. It's a late birdie here at 17, and he is just unstoppable right now. Well, when you stick your tee into the hallowed grounds here on the 18th at the old course at St. Andrews, Frank, you know you're playing a piece of history.
And a chance, too, to finish it off in style, because this par 4 is reachable. A lot of people will aim at the clock tower, which is on the R&A building in the distance. That's a little left of this green. If you feel a little brave and you want to make a hero of yourself, just aim a little further right, exactly where the green is. Avoid the valley of sin, and you might just have a wee dram at the end of the day.
So not a whole lot left to go here as he'll set up his second for this par 4.
And that's all set up by the big tee shot. You put yourself in that good of a position in the fairway just short of the green, and good things are bound to happen.
That should just about wrap this one up. It's a birdie at 18, and I think go ahead and celebrate because that lead now is close to insurmountable. Well, that about wraps it up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Really enjoyed it, Frank.
Yeah, it's been a good day out here. Once again, we've seen the golf course give more than it takes.
For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.